select all, deselect all, select all, mesh UV unwrap, smart UV project. What does that mean? And if we, oops, don't do that. Why did I, nope, don't do that. If I, okay, there it is. Look, there it is. So now we have the, okay, so that's smart UV project. So now we have a UV thing for the monkey, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to join up properly, right? This is so confusing. Blender is so confusing. What if I now export this to monkey? Armatures, everything, I don't know. Apply mode. Alright, now we export that. So now we import that into here. Re-import. And then we rebuild. I mean, the monkey head is just a complicated shape, right? So it doesn't necessarily work. What, I need to save all first. Save selected. It's still messed up, but in a different way. It's still messed up, but in a different way from before, and arguably in a better way than before. Although the nose is whack. The nose is completely whack. I mean, look, it's messed up, but in a different way from before. So I don't even know how that helps. Is that is that useful? Is that useful? I don't know. I don't think it is. I mean, look, the monkey head is complicated, right? The monkey head is complicated, and so you almost aren't surprised. You're not surprised by it. Oh dear. So the monkey head is geometrically complicated. Alright, let me actually, I think I have a better idea. Alright, what do we go mesh, UV unwrap, reset? Which, by the way, if we go to UV editing, now it's gone. Now imagine if we go mesh, UV unwrap, sphere projection. And then file, exports to sphere projection. So, I mean, instead of trying to fit the texture onto every single face, maybe we just kind of use a sphere projection. And maybe that's smarter. Import normals. That's almost good. I mean, so now the texture is kind of wrapping around the thing as a sphere. Now let's try and do the lighting on this and see if it's bad. It's quite possible that it is bad. But if we make the texture a spherical projection, it might be better than before. Or a cylindrical, maybe a cylindrical projection is better. No, it's the geometry. The geometry continues to be bad. Maybe we should... Maybe we need more geometry is what we need to save all. Maybe if we re-import the monkey, can we subdivision surface? No, skeletal. Maybe we just need more geometry is what we need. Hold on, let me cancel this one out. What if we come over here, and what if we go mesh? Edges subdivide. Mesh, UV unwrap reset. Mesh, UV unwrap, sphere projection. So maybe just more geometry will work. Let me go export FBX monkey, export this. So now it's got a lot more polygons in it, right? And now if we import it here, import the monkey, and import all. So now there's significantly more geometry in the monkey, right? And then if we build this, this might be what it takes, possibly. Okay, well now the monkey has overlapping UVs. There's 3.4% overlapping UVs. Yikes. Man, what's the problem? I don't see more. How do I... It says to enable error map check. Enable error coloring to visualize. Where's error coloring? Here? Visualizes where is error coloring? Buffer visualization. Visualizes show visualize advanced. I can't find error coloring wherever that is. Developer. Alright, come on. Error coloring. Light map UV are overlapping by thing. Error coloring. I mean, I'm not the only person with this problem. Static mesh settings, light map resolution. You should never overlap. This causes an issue where you cannot correctly apply shadows and light to the object in areas resulting in errors. The object is way too big to be lit correctly. Wait, what? As all the UVs are on a single object, the individual polygons become way too small for the light mass texels. Break it up into smaller objects. Just break things up according to some logic. For example, having all the east walls on a single object. There's some UVs in the top left corner that are overlapping unwrapped wrong. If you fix that, most issues should be gone. You cannot have UVs for your light map outside of that square, and you cannot have them overlapping or mirrored. Wait, is it because this stuff is outside the square? So if I no, don't do that. If I take UVs, select. Is it because that stuff is outside the? How do I select though? Mesh UV unwrap reset. Mesh UV unwrap. Smart unwrap project or smart UV project. Is that better? There's no overlaps there, right? Are there overlaps? I swear. Hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, the lack of shortcuts is a problem here. The mouse control. Why can't I? Hold on. Blender mouse navigation without middle mouse button. I cannot use the. Yeah. Alt and the 3 mouse buttons somehow get assigned. I don't know what what? Emulate 3 button mouse in the user. Hold on, let me. File user preferences. Input, emulate 3 button mouse, save user settings. Can we? No, nothing. User preference, input. Continuous grab, drag threshold. Select with right. Double click orbit style turntable dolly. Alt left mouse button. Emulate 3 button mouse. So now if I, oh, okay, well, the middle mouse button still doesn't work, but you can use the left mouse button for that. Okay, good. So Alright, tell me about overlapping things. Like, you know, like here. I mean, technically that's not overlapped, right? Right. Technically that's not overlapping, right? And man, this is cutting it real close. Technically that is overlapping, right? So if I take this and I just move it, can I just move it up a little bit? Can I just move it up a little bit? Like that? Like there? No, move it up. Move it, no, move it up. Dude, move it up. Can I not move this? Uh, or can I move the whole thing? Apparently not. How do I... UVs translate. Oh, you can move them. Alright, well, I don't know if that's a good idea, but I've done it. And then like this. That is overlapping, right? This one there. Don't do that. I mean, I don't even know if this makes any difference. Although it is forcing me to figure out the interface for Blender, so I guess there is that. Alright, let me just move everything apart a little bit. On the assumption that overlapping is bad. Right. I don't actually know if any of this makes any difference. I mean, you'd think that the automatic thing would just avoid overlapping, and so this is actually not overlapping. You'd assume that, but you don't know, right? So it said like 3 point something% were overlapped, and I guess like we can just do some of this, and then we'll see if the percentage is reduced. I mean, And then even if they're not overlapped, the question still remains, is the lighting engine going to be able to process it or not? It's quite possible that the answer is no, still. Like, is that inside or outside the... It's literally right on the edge. Is that okay or is it not okay? I mean, presumably it's... the computer did that on purpose because it's okay. Like here, right? Like you zoom in as far as possible and it still looks like it's actually overlapping. So, how would you know? I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, this here looks suspicious. And is that just missing a polygon completely? Like that there? Is that a... what's going on there? Alright. So most of the complex bits are up here. Okay, alright, so if we assume that that's fine, let me export that to monkey, export. And then let me come back to tutorial and import the monkey again. Import normals. I mean, it boggles my mind that this is fine. Like this looks fine. But then when you build the lighting, it's not fine. And I just don't really understand what's going on. Except that maybe the monkey is complicated. Which, if it was, if that's the problem, I kinda understand. Hey, you know what? It seems better. The ears are better, although there are other problems. Also, the texture overlapping is gone. What is going on there? You know what I mean? Details, static mesh component, monkey static mesh, linear dampening. No, that's physics, my bad. Lighting. Light resolution to use. Maybe it's just, we just need to like increase the resolution of the lighting. So what's going on here? Cast shadow, direct, indirect, dynamic shadow, static shadow, self shadow, only far shadow, dynamic, indirect, light static, light attachment as what? As group, single sample shadow, lighting channels. What if we just override the I mean that's light map res, okay. Override the light map res from 64 to 256. Just make it higher resolution. Because it's such a complex shape. Do we just assume that we need higher resolution light map? Also, it's getting really dark. I should turn on the light. Hold on. So we're not living in a cave. All right. So now that we are at nighttime, by the way, we went from daytime to nighttime and we're still here. Oh, look. It's significantly better. I mean, there's still some errors. There's one error there. But it's significantly better. Wow, look at that. Okay, it's just the resolution. All right, why don't we just crank this up some more? 1024 there. Let me just save all again. And then save all again. And then rebuild. You just, okay, if it's a complex shape, you just turn up the lighting resolution. That's it. That's all it is. We didn't even need to do all that stuff, really. And it makes sense, right? It makes sense that if it's a complex shape, then you need higher resolution lighting simulation in order to get it to look correct. Well, I'm just thinking. Well, I mean, we learned other things along the way. Like, we learned how to use Blender a bit better, a little bit better. Blender is still really confusing. But now I know a little bit more about how to use Blender. I mean, the thing is, Blender, I've used Blender before. It's not the first time that I've used Blender. But where every other program I can just pick up really quickly, every time I use Blender again, I have to learn the whole thing again because all the shortcuts and all the hotkeys are just so obscure. Blender is for some reason not easy to use and not easy to learn. Every other program, like Unreal Editor, for example, and like we just kind of jumped into it and we're fine. It's all the user interface. The user interface is not friendly in Blender. It's not obvious. Alright, so now we are building on a higher resolution. I mean, that's still a little bit weird. That particular polygon is still broken. But other than that, and like that polygon is still broken, okay. Alright, well I mean, that might be about as good as it goes. If we launch that now, and the nose is kind of whack as well. But I guess the simple answer is just to turn up the lighting resolution. It's still whack. It's still, but I mean, look, it's not just me because look, there's a little gap in the eye there. Look, I didn't create that. That's in the model. So the mesh itself is actually not very clean. Like there's little gaps in the mesh in itself. Look at that. I'm looking through. See that right there? So the mesh itself is not clean to start with. And I'm just not gonna claim responsibility, basically. All right. So I think I'm done for today. Well, I'm done for this session. I might do more tonight. As you see in the webcam, we've turned from daytime to nighttime. And later tonight, I might do a bit more. Or maybe not, maybe not. I just want to. It's good to have a rest and take a break every now and then, right? Okay. So we have confirmed that we can build models in Blender and import the Blender meshes into Unreal Engine 4. And that is the workflow, for me at least. If you have enough money, or if you have some other tricky way to get your hands on Maya or 3D Studio Max or some other 3D modeling software, you can use whatever 3D modeling software, export to FBX, and then import the FBX into Unreal Engine for static meshes if you want to. But because I'm free, I'm cheap and I'm free, and I use free software, therefore my option is Blender. Alright, so that's good. We can use Blender to import stuff. And the thing is, my other concern is whether or not we can import from architectural programs like ArchiCAD or Revit or things like that. Because I mean, I'm not just here to make games, right? One of the things that I'm interested in is potentially using Unreal Engine 4 for architectural visualization, like either real-time 3D or even virtual reality, like VR goggles and all that. And that might actually be useful to my buddies who are actually doing architecture. Which yeah, so if we can import directly from an architectural program into Unreal Engine 4 and then just run it straight like that, that might be quite useful or quite helpful for some of these people. So Revit is Autodesk Revit. BIM is Building Information Management. So you can see like architecture, there you go. So imagine if like architecture stuff like this. So BIM free trial, how long does the free trial last? 30-day free trial. That's not useful. Maybe I go back to the university, try and convince the university to let me use their software. I wonder if I can get away with that. So what I want to do is try this out. I mean, 30 days is not really enough for me to figure this out. I know the university has Revit licenses. So Revit is one option, and at most I could get a 30-day trial. Students can get free software for 3 years, but you need to prove you're a student. You can open a file with a free viewer. The question is, can you export it from the viewer into what's it called again? FBX. All right. I have an account. I need an account. Create an account. So Revit is one thing. Revit FBX export. Export to FBX Revit products Autodesk Knowledge Network. But the problem with this is that Unreal Engine 4 does not like enormous it doesn't like one enormous mesh importing into the world. Whereas I'm assuming that this will export the whole thing in one giant mesh, which use level of detail. Like I don't think it's a good idea, but then I want to do this so that I can. I mean, if I can just import the entire building into Unreal in one, like if it's just kind of one click import the whole thing, that would be amazing and it would be really easy to use. If we have to break the whole building down into all the different components and then import each individual component and then reassemble the whole thing back in Unreal Engine, that would be less efficient. You know what I mean? So there's that. I'm interested in figuring this out, but I need to get my hands on a Revit license. I might be able to like ask an architecture office. Maybe if I can like just borrow their office in the middle of the night when they're not there, just kind of borrow their Revit license to export stuff. And then during the day, I have to leave the office while they go back to work. Anyway, I just need to borrow a Revit license from someone and maybe like borrow some of their buildings as well to try and export. So there's that. What are some BIM programs? BIM software. Building Information Modeling. Top 8 free and open source BIM software tools. Free and open source, really? Free or open source BIM software. Construction Manager or Software Geek. No, go away, go away. Free BIM Viewer. Standard Office application-based BIM. BIM as a bolt-on for CAD software. BIM software toolkit. BIM from the start. BIM Viewer. BIM X from Graphisoft. Available free of charge for Android and I don't want Android or iOS devices. Graphisoft is the people who make ArchiCAD. BIM Vision. Freeware IFC Model Viewer allows the user to view virtual model created by systems of Revit, ArchiCAD, Advanced, DDS CAD, Tekla, and Vectorworks. Industry Foundation class. Coloring elements, transparency. BIM Vision. Can you export? BIM Vision. Features. View the models, color of elements, transparency level, 3D view projected view. Take off, comparing models, geometry changes. Application interface for writing plugin. BIM Vision FBX export. I don't. Well. No, there isn't. There isn't export. ArchiCAD BIM software. Getting BIM data into Unity, Revit. See, this is the sort of thing that I'm interested in. Passing, no, go. What? Why is it a different page? Anyway, direct export from Revit to FBX. Crazy. Passing through 3ds Max. Oh no, do we have to? Material information is missing. Passing through 3ds Max. This is the model in Max. 3D Max to Unity workflow. Are we there yet? But no. We've got our Rivet model in the Unity with assigned materials in the correct scale. I mean, you can get it into Unity. See, this is the sort of thing that I'm interested in, right? This is the sort of thing I'm interested in. Rhinoceros. Actually, Rhinoceros is a pretty cool software. How much does it cost? Is it a free version? Rhine. Also, plugins. Exporter, STL exporter, STL format, i.e. for printing 3D. That's not what I want. Rhinoceros, Rhino BIM, Rhino BIM tools for design, Rhino. "30-day trial, purchasing, commercial license, faculty and student license." I mean, I don't want to pay money. That's the real problem. The real problem is I don't want to pay money. Holy crap. So commercial license is 500. Student license is 100. But you have to like have an ID card, student ID card. ArchiCAD. ArchiCAD. Graphics. So how long can I use the free trial for? Version comparison. Holy crap, why are there so many buttons? How many buttons do you need? Sure. Sure. Downloads. Commercial, trial, EDU, and demo. With whatever license you have, should you have none yet, you can still experience ArchiCAD in demo mode and decide about acquiring a license later. Well, what are the licenses? What are the licenses? Support ArchiCAD. Licenses. License types, Help Center. Commercial license. Solo pay-per-use license, no thanks. Rental license. You have to pay every month. Oh, man, all of this is paying out the wazoo. Demo mode. If the hardware software protection cannot be accessed or if there's no free license available, save copy and teamwork functions are disabled but still possible to print. You can't save anything in demo mode. Can you export? A trial license, fully functional for 30 days. Educational license. The first temporary serial number, download link, the process level is completely automatic. Receive your serial number and the link will give you 30 days usage. After registration, given credentials through the appropriate stage. ArchiCAD logo. Stuff saved in EDU mode can't be opened in commercial mode. Valid for 1 year for educational version. Full license is indefinite. Trial license is 30 days. Demo license, you can open stuff, but you can't save stuff. So, what's the start edition? How much is the start edition? Oh man. I mean, the thing is, what I'm trying to do is to figure out functionality for these guys so that their software would be more useful. It's not like I'm making money off them. I'm trying to figure out how to get their files into Unreal Engine 4. Industry Foundation, standard office-based BIM. Free CAD. CAD program that offers BIM functionality as an extension to help users handle BIM as a process. FreeCAD offers IFC compatibility. FreeCAD also states that its functionality can be achieved and driven by other software programs written in Python. In summary, FreeCAD offers a way for users to already familiar with CAD to get a head start along the road to BIM, but those without any software programming knowledge may find it tough going. I mean, FreeCAD. If FreeCAD is free, I guess we want to try FreeCAD as well. The BIM software toolkit. B processor? I mean, anyway, this is not important right now, right? But might be useful later. B processor is BIM software that's been and currently is still developed by the Aarhus School of Architecture in cooperation with the Alexandra Institute. Well, the Aarhus School of Architecture is pretty awesome. B processor developed from scratch, not an add-on or further on the 3D drawing method is pursued. Top front side views are abandoned. All modeling takes place in perspective. 3D view is result very realistic and intuitive workflow. The usability and tool design is related to Google SketchUp software, therefore more intuitive and simpler to learn than many common BIM software. It's currently developed. B processor is coded in Java. It's in Java. Alright, well, there's FreeCAD. Do I want to use FreeCAD? I don't know. Features. Import, export to standard formats, which, by the way, does not include FBX. Which, by the way, does not include the one thing that we need. Although, import we can import other things. Let's see. I think OBJ scene and OBJ static meshes. So that's the other standard format that we might consider, OBJ format. Feature list export to OBJ. So this does export to OBJ. I don't know if I should. I mean, there's an architecture module. IFC is the industry foundation class. So IFC is the file format. So hold on. Exporting to industry foundation classes IFC. So ArchiCAD IFC. Reference guide to ArchiCAD 19. Provide IFC import and fully certified export based on Building Smart and IFC data exchange standards. Alright, that's good. IFC guide for ArchiCAD. IFC 2x3. IFC default using step physical file structure. IFC zip. IFC XML. Import and export of the following. So IFC is the file type that we need to use. Well, let me just get FreeCAD as well. Alright, I'm gonna do this in my own time. Download FreeCAD and see how that works for us. And basically, what I'm looking for is a way to import from Revit and ArchiCAD into Unreal, which might be a bit ambitious. That might be a little overly ambitious at the point. All right, that's all stuff for later on. So, okay, I think I should stop here because we've been kind of just messing around for a while and not actually doing anything useful. So today we are done, and we did get the monkey head from Blender into Unreal Engine, and that's mostly what we're here to do. Next time we're going to go here, basic level design with BSP, and then maybe lighting quick start guide, although I think, now let's just do that. Okay, the BSP and lighting. Materials later on. So BSP, lighting, and then we want to learn Blender, or try to learn Blender. And then in my own time, I'm gonna download FreeCAD, and we'll leave that until later. I'll install FreeCAD. All right. So next up is BSP and lighting, and learning Blender. All right. I'll see you soon. Next video.